show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning, I should say. We've got coffee, so every morning is good as long as you got coffee. And guess what? I'm thinking geek today.
Can you actually put the words good Monday and morning in the same sentence?
Good Monday morning?
That's what you said. Yeah. I'm just wondering, I mean, is that like going to cause like universal implosion or something? I don't know. Well, it's Monday morning and we're feeling good. So that's what you get.
It was a great weekend.
It was an almost relaxing weekend. We had massive projects we had to get out last week for some clients, and then Saturday my wife and I went completely low tech. We like disconnected and we brought out a 1,000-piece mystery puzzle.
I love puzzles.
Well,
I think puzzles are awesome.
This is a Sherlock Holmes mystery puzzle, so you don't know what you're building.
Right.
You have no picture of it from the beginning, and it is a Photoshop, newbie's nightmare, in which there's like 27 different things that are all overlaid and put in, and so nothing actually fits together the way you think it does. And, there's stuff laying upside down. There's like 3 different stacks of books. You got to figure out what's going on. And so so that was like 4 hours on Saturday, and we got maybe 30% done.
Wow.
And
still sitting in your living room?
No, in the dining room.
It's
in the dining room. It's taking up the whole dining room table. We've been eating on the cafe table in the living room. So we will not break it down.
It will not come apart until we are done.
Until we have finished with it, and then we'll just take it apart.
That is freaking.
But we'll take a picture of it, which we can then never show anyone.
Yep.
Because it's actually a mystery. The problem is my wife actually remembers the mystery of the speckled band, and I don't right off the top of my head. And so I'm sure once I see the clues, I'll remember it.
Right.
But that's where it's at. If you haven't done one of these Sherlock Holmes puzzles, they're quite the challenge.
I have not done the Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I mean, a 1,000-piece puzzle with no image up front. You got no clue.
That is actually cool.
Yeah, it really is. So that's our low-tech news for the day. What did you do this weekend in order to detox from the tech world?
Yeah, what did you guys do? Because I didn't.
No, you didn't. You were working
Saturday,
on something awesome.
Well, Saturday we streamed the Pasco Hernando Alliance for Kids, their seminar.
Oh.
So all the people that needed the continuing education for Pasco Hernando could watch, and they could actually get their CEUs, and very cool.
Very cool.
Yes, we can do that. We know we have the technology.
We can make the world's first bionic webinar.
If you need to get, if you're trying to get your message out, look, Zoom's great. Okay, I don't know if it's great, but we use Zoom here.
It's highly functional.
It's good for us.
Yep.
But when you're trying to do all this stuff and Zoom and interactions and blah, 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 and talking overs and this, it doesn't work.
Nope. No,
I've watched Zoom meetings and I'm like, oh, this is just a cluster in itself as a mess up. It sucks. So what we're able to do is we bring everybody in. We bring it to one central page. Everybody gets to watch that central page. People put a chat box in there. I think it's a minute. And then people answer their questions, and it's kind of cool. So I don't know what that is. That's kind of cool. Top-notch audio engineering.
It's our studio tour. Look at that.
Wow.
Wow. It doesn't look anything like that anymore.
No. Where did that come from?
That came from the Time Machine, actually. So, yeah. I mean, this studio changes so much, so often. It's incredible. The new technology, the new places. I mean, we now have a whole new green room, and then we've also added in a 5th studio, which is the Nerdosphere, which is just amazing. I mean, that thing is tricked out for gaming, and it's tricked out for streaming your gaming. So if you want to take your gaming to the next level and you want to maybe monetize it, this is the new game in town. and there's just nothing else like it out there. It's professional grade gaming, streaming, without spending thousands of dollars. I'm over there, thank you.
Yeah, I know, we're all over the place.
I know, it keeps bouncing around. It's that guy in the back.
He's switch happy.
It's a hardware problem. It's the nut behind the keyboard.
If it's me, I'd be lazy. I'm like, that's a shot. Good luck. Have fun, guys.
Hold on, I have some coffee.
Don't talk
now.
too much.
Dude, this is a shot again. Now I'm over here again.
Yeah. See, he's seeing if we're awake. I'm awake.
I'm not awake. I'm not awake at all.
The new time change. We should.
I love the time
We should
change.
stop saying new. This ain't new. None of this is new. This has been going on for decades. I like this time better.
Yes.
Because I'm up earlier anyway.
Yes.
So it's kind of a good thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, it
here we
gives
go
me a
again.
hell
I
of a
gotta
jump
talk
start.
over there.
You're over there now, yeah.
It's weird, when we don't have the glass table, these angles are not. We may have to bring the cameras in a little closer. But anyway, I like this time.
Yeah,
I'm already
dittos.
up,
This is
I'm
my
going,
favorite.
it's-
Okay,
it's-
I mean,
I'm awake.
I don't care what time it gets dark. I honestly don't care.
No.
I care about what time I get up in the morning and
Yep.
how much work I can get done
Right.
before my phone starts ringing.
Right.
And when I'm automatically waking up at 4:30, I'm getting stuff done.
Right.
And it feels great. So as far as I'm concerned, they need to just turn it off and leave it. I mean, like, what is it? Like a majority, like 70% of Americans want the damn thing turned off. We're done with it. Just leave it the way it is. We're good.
Yeah.
And let it go, because
Let it go. Let it go. Sorry. That's the OC.
let's just stay frozen in time. See what I did there? No, not like that. Okay, yep.
Why is your camera
Now,
working in mine?
Some of you thought that we were
froze.
subject to a screen freeze, but in actuality, we have a split screen here. Okay, my side is still working, his side is frozen, which is probably
No, the
better than
flames
not.
behind me are working. That kind of screwed that one
Oh,
up.
that's a tell. That's what we call a tell.
Oh, damn. Anyway. So, but so I don't know if Rob. I don't know where we have it on here for Rob, but I do want to talk about. I think he actually got the video of it. So, last night, another groundbreaking launch.
Yes.
We sent people into space again.
Which is pretty cool, but
But
what was cool about it, John?
this is nighttime.
Okay. I feel bad because I missed it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I think Rob
Remember, I
actually
was
has some
unplugged.
footage for us.
Oh,
That's
good. See, I'm not
right.
going to miss it.
I'm hoping he does. As soon as he starts playing, we'll just talk over it.
Yeah.
Because, to me, it's like, hey, welcome to the news today. This is what's going on.
Yeah, we're Huntley and Brinkley, and if you're
10, 9, 8,
there, we go.
Okay, so during the daytime, it looks impressive. At night, you're like,
4,
that's even cooler.
2,
Yeah, this is like straight out of so many sci-fi movies. Here we go. Yeah, it really is extraordinary. All of that, and a lot of people don't realize that's all steam. That is all steam that's coming out of that.
Oh, on the bottom down there?
Yeah,
Because that looks like flame.
yep, that is flame. But what you got out of that was not smoke or anything. It's pure steam. It vaporizes the air and turns all the water vapor into steam.
I mean, you got to
Yep.
say that's just...
That is a very nice picture of an upside-down candle.
That's actually,
Yeah.
it's like, that really was... conspiracy people. That didn't happen. That's just some guy with a blowtorch at
that's
night.
what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's moving it so the
The
camera
propane torch.
has to
Yeah.
look like it's keeping up, man.
Yeah.
Look how purple that is and white.
Yeah.
That
Gorgeous.
is
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
love
Now,
that.
so and
So
even
what was the big deal about it? There was another launch yesterday. That was the first time in like forever they did something. Launched from Florida that had, maybe it was this one, that was fully made.
private partnership.
Private partnership. Got it.
Yeah, so they're humans on this one.
Yeah.
And even
That's
cooler,
what it was.
as in I think it was an hour and a half later, I think it was, or 45 minutes later, one of those times.
Yeah.
The rocket came back down and landed.
Yeah. I
And they're
love
going to
that
use it
about
again
SpaceX.
on the next.
Yeah. It's ready to go.
Well,
It's
no,
just-
it takes them a year to process it.
No.
That's what they said this morning.
Because they're launching 48. They ain't got 48 of the rockets. They're doing 48 launches next year.
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
It
It
doesn't
can't
make
take
no
a year.
sense.
No, they're just going to bus it back, and which is really kind of funny because you land it. What do? You land it on a boat out in the middle of the ocean.
Which is cool.
Well, then what do you do with it?
Then you drive it back in with a boat.
Well, that's just like saying, oh, great, I had my car delivered, like 9 miles down. Now I have to have it towed here.
Yeah.
I mean, the damn thing lands.
They're gonna
land it right back where it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
right
I know
back on
it's
the-
safety's sake and all that stuff, but eventually they will get around to landing
They
it
will.
where it belongs.
They will.
Instead of having to cart it halfway across the continent. So there's that.
I just thought.
So,
to me,
Yago
that's
team.
Way to go.
No, I love the launches coming out of Florida, and I love the fact that Elon is all over this thing like white on rice.
Alone.
That is
Alone.
so cool.
Alone.
I don't know if you saw his tweet last week that got a little bit of attention. Did you hear about that
which one was this one? Which he tested positive for COVID?
Yeah, you heard about that, right?
Right. That's why he
Yeah.
wasn't at the launch last night.
Oh, yeah. But then he had it done again a couple hours later. He tested negative.
Negative.
Then he had it done a couple hours later, and he tested positive. Then he had it done a couple hours later, and he tested negative again. 4 tests, 2 different results.
So we're gonna. You know what? I'm gonna jump down to your jump.
What?
Jump. Where did I put it at?
My segment?
Where did it go?
It's probably not here.
Number
6.
We're gonna jump on that one first.
We're gonna jump on that one because that's fun.
Because that's gonna fun. It's fun, and it's gonna probably eat up a bunch of our time.
It could.
Because
I really got nothing to say about it, but
nothing at all.
yeah.
We're just gonna
All right.
stare at it. There's a pretty picture.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Welcome to marketing. Today, we're going to talk about something that we've seen a lot. If you're out on social media and you're in business, you may be getting pummeled by people doing. They aren't actually get-rich-quick schemes. Okay, let's just set that aside. They're doing online webinars. And we think of, doing, Zoom calls and all that as webinars. Now, one of the things that's coming up is, what is a webinar? A webinar is when you're having a seminar on the web, hence the name. And so if you want to invite a bunch of people in, you can go ahead and hold a webinar. Now, there's many ways you can do that. One of the ways, is to go ahead and just have a Zoom call with a bunch of people and bring them in, teach them, let them go, you're done. Now you have to go through all the organizing, all the everything. You got to set up the scheduling. You got to be there. You got to be on time. You got to present it live. Good luck with that. Okay, especially if it's one of your first times. Good luck with that. You want to look good because if you're in business and you're representing your business, the key to looking professional is don't look like an amateur. Okay, that's the big trade secret there. But it is so easy to look like an amateur. One of the first things you get is people, will have the up-the-nose shots. They'll have the silhouette shots. We've all seen them. We've seen the person, who gets up and walk, who because they're on mute, they think that somehow we can't see them get up and leave and come back and sit down. And who was having, oh my God, they had their like laptop way back on the coffee table and they're wearing a mini skirt. I mean, they're just some stupid mistakes.
Yep.
Okay, complete newbies. And you don't want that to affect your business.
Nope.
As it definitely will affect your business. So the idea of the webinar, though, is, you see the really professionally done ones. And, I'm talking about, the Brenda Burchards of the world, the Russell Bransons, these are Russell Brunson, sorry. These are people that are, they're spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to make their webinar videos, okay, that then go out there. But they're setting the bar, and they're setting it insanely high. And so you're saying, okay, well, I don't even know what the heck this is or how this works. When you have a client base, a customer base, a list of prospects, anybody out there that might be interested in your business, one of the best things you can do is put together a webinar for them. The webinar is a place where you can take a lot of the common questions that people have about your field. Let's imagine that you're a mortgage broker, okay, and people have a lot of questions about mortgages. You can put out a very simple webinar. You can advertise it out on Facebook, and then you can bring it in, and you can go ahead and however you want to set up the engineering, okay, you can go ahead and hold that webinar. Now, let's say you've got, Zoom, or we actually have, GoToMeeting, okay, is another one that lets you set up these online meetings. But that's not really how a webinar should work.
No.
Your webinar really needs to be a marketing tool. And it needs to be an organized marketing tool. And in order to do that, you need it set up as an evergreen webinar. Now, what is an evergreen webinar? An evergreen webinar, if you've ever been out there and you've signed up for one of these things where you come in, it's like, oh, you can attend the webinar at 10 a.m., 1:30 p.m., or 4 p.m. today, and 11 o'clock tomorrow. Okay? Those are actually, someone's not coming in and starting the webinar every single time that thing comes up. I mean, if they are, God bless them, okay, but it's a complete, it's a huge consumption of energy to do that. Because what we have is we have the software in-house where we can create your own evergreen webinar, where you give the webinar one time, not even necessarily to a live audience.
That's correct.
Okay? We then put it together, package it, and we set it on autoplay. And what will happen is we can then set up your ads. They will bring it in. People will register for your webinar. Who's going to register for your webinar if not your ideal client? Okay? They're going to register with their name and email address. Now we're packing the lead channel, okay? And then you're going to turn around and they're going to come into your webinar and you're going to blow them away with what you are about to give them for free. Now, yes, we can also have it charged for the webinar if you want.
Yeah.
But if you want to use this as a marketing tool, come on down, okay? Because this blows away anything else anybody else is doing. And I'll tell you what, if we're this good, and I don't mean like John and I are this good, okay? But I mean, look at the quality of the video you're looking at right now. Look at the quality of the lighting, okay? Look at the white balance on my shirt. These are the details. Look at these really dark shadows under my eye. Wait, they're not there, okay? Look up my nose. Wait, you can't, okay? Look at the different angles we have that we can play with. And that was a cue to you, Rob. That was like Rob's maybe a oh, look at that, see? Look at that. We can cut between scenes in order to keep things lively, keep them active, and keep them visually interesting. So we have all of these pieces available to you. Now, what you're not seeing is I'm actually watching a monitor of me, so I'm supposed to be paying attention to which camera I'm on. All of that is here in our studio. So you have this amazing capacity to come in and turn your message into a marketing train that just keeps running down the track. It gathers people, through your webinar. Different things can come up. They can download documents. They can click on a link and go off to a site. It'll come up at a very specific moment. Now remember, we have your webinar timed, so we know exactly when you're going to be saying. Now, if you look over to the right, you'll see a button. We program it so that that button appears 3 seconds before you say that in the video. Okay, then when it's done, you get the people that came in and they logged in. They're like, oh my God, I love this. But, oh crap, the phone rang. I had to go. And then, the bathroom flooded and, on the second floor. And so you got to run off and do all these things. They miss it. Yeah, we send the emails with the follow-up. Hey, by the way, if you want to watch the replay, click here. Okay, all of this stuff is all built into your automated webinar that we can manage for you. And that is an amazingly powerful marketing tool, because if you spend any amount of your professional time educating your customers.
Yep.
There used to be a saying way back when I was in direct sales. There used to be a saying. It was sell the prospect, educate the client.
Correct.
And those people had about a 25% closing ratio. When I started, I said, that's crap. I educate the prospect, and 95% of the time they become my clients.
Right.
And that's the ticket I have run with for over 20 years, and it has never failed me. And you can feel free to give away some of your knowledge for free that your clients will find useful, and we can help you do that. Or you can go out there and do it yourself. Okay, it's entirely up to you. If you've got a nice studio and you've got a nice setup and you've got good cameras and you feel confident doing your own webinar, rock and roll. Okay, but the webinar services that are out there, they're charging between $100 and $500 a month to run your webinar. We are nowhere near that.
Nope.
We will set it up. We will do it as part of the program. You will own it. And the stuff you can do with that after the fact. We want to make this kind of technology available to the people here in our market, and we want it to happen so that they can succeed. And this is the kind of tools you're going to need to succeed. Because one of the things that's also happening, Facebook is opening up now where you can charge people to attend your little mini webinar.
That's right.
Yep, they're opening up. Okay, so these are things that your competitors are going to do.
Yeah, we do it. We can do it on Nerd Talk right now. We got qualified for it finally.
Yeah. So let me tell you something though. Okay, the difference between you and your competitors is that if you do this, you're probably going to be the only one doing it. Nobody else is doing it. And so this is your chance to step out, step ahead, and do something that nobody else is doing, and actually carry on a private conversation with your marketplace. And so I cannot tell you how excited we are. We just got this software installed. We've debugged it. It took us a few weeks, and it is phenomenal what we can do. I'm not even going to tell you all the tricks and secrets that are built into this thing, okay, that we can actually handle now for you. But I tell you what, you will absolutely be blown away by what we can put together and how it can happen for you. I'm sorry this turned into a sales pitch, okay, for what we can do, but that's because we shopped and shopped. I have shopped for 5 years before I finally found the software that I want to include with our client packages now. And this stuff just crushes everything else out there because we bring it in, and for just a few, I mean, just you're talking nothing compared to what you'd pay. You know, you're looking at $10,000, $20,000 to create your webinar videos. You know, you're looking at another, $500 a month to run the software. Even Kajabi with all of it. I'm sorry, but it is a nightmare setting up Kajabi. Don't let them fool you. Okay? It is one of the most complicated pieces of software out there. And it says, oh, yeah, but we have all this stuff standard. Yeah, you do, which is great. That means that it doesn't apply to you and your business. That means you then have to go through every single piece of their funnel and write the copy for it. And it's nuts what you have to do.
Yep.
Whereas this thing, I mean, literally, this thing, we can have you up and running in a couple days. You can come in, we can record, you can have your webinar up and running and driving customers and getting you contacts. Because one of the very cool things about this is the chat box on the side. You can be on, you can be live with the chat if you want to. But otherwise, they email you their questions. Duh.
And that's the way it should be.
And think about it. Now you have an email communication running with your prospect. How perfect is that? You can say, wow, this is a really complex question. Give me your phone number, I'll call you. Or, hey, you know what? Why don't you come on down to the store and I can show you exactly what it is that you need to be using. Bring your computer in and we'll go ahead and go over what the issues are and how we can fix it for you because we have a free bench, we have no bench fee for diagnostics. Okay, so come on and bring it. Now you're closing deals, you're bringing people into your showrooms. This is how you want to run this stuff. This is how you can personalize this stuff.
Right.
And we are just so pumped about this.
Yes.
This is going to be amazing. And if you are not doing webinars now, seriously think about it. Yes, you can use Zoom. Yes, you can use the new Facebook thing. Okay, but if you want to get really good, high-level professional results, come on in, we can give you a hand.
Right.
There, that's our pitch.
I'm tired just listening to you.
I know.
I think we just call it rest of the day.
Tired too. Yeah, we got 33 minutes left. Fortunately, we have a list, so we don't have to think.
So I got to figure out what's going on with Webeam TV.
You mean the Facebook page?
No, the Facebook page is beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Our site's not. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Well, no, that kind of
The
concerns
first
me.
thing, Apple response. Okay, so Apple big response today is to privacy concerns over the Mac software security process.
Yes.
So I guess I got several stories in here.
Yes,
but
you do.
because there is a lawsuit going to begin against
Yep.
Apple about a little. Matter of fact, let me jump. Let me go grab that real quick. I didn't put these together right.
Okay.
Apple illegally tracks iPhone users to target them with ads. The EU Privacy Activism Group claims in lawsuit.
Yeah, you say illegally. First of all, whose laws?
Right.
Okay.
Is
and
it
they're
Europe?
different all over the world.
Right.
And this is a suit filed because they're claiming that it's violating the laws. That doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
That's correct.
Okay. And thirdly, I mean, if I were going to bank on anybody here, it would, gee, I can bank on this advocacy group, okay, that needs to raise funds, or I can bank on the Apple lawyers. Let me think. Some of the highest paid, most valuable lawyers in the world, or an advocacy group that's going out trying to get donations. Let me think. I'm going to weigh these two back and forth, okay, and I'm coming up with the advocacy group. I'm sorry, I just think they're going to be
Right.
the winners. And so, no, it's a tough call, okay? Are they tracking behavior? Yes. Are they sharing the behavior with advertisers? That's where it gets a little sticky, okay? What are they sharing with the advertisers? Are they sharing individual behavior, or are they sharing group trends?
Right.
And like with Facebook, if you've got a pixel, you don't actually know who's come to your website. You only know that they're in a black box and you can advertise to them.
Right.
Okay, and that's legit. There's no individual tracking. And so is that all that's happening? They need to go through the court case.
That's, yeah.
Apple did not respond, okay, to the article. And so, yeah, that if the courts decide to take up the case, just because somebody files a suit doesn't mean that it's going to get taken up by the courts.
Yeah,
Okay?
because, well, they did,
Yeah.
well, actually, they did respond.
Apple did?
responds to privacy concerns over Mac software security process.
That's different.
Oh, that's a different one.
That's different.
That's not.
They're
not-
See, the other one was your phone. This one's your Mac. Okay. And so what it is this story, in particular, is about the fact that a couple days ago, everybody was glitching. Apple has a piece of software that sits between software packages and your operating system.
Okay.
And it's very careful about how it will, what it will let run, because it's scanning in between. And that actually bogged down a little bit. It's been there for a long time. It's been there for years and years. And it bogged down a little bit, and it made people go, wait a minute, are you watching what I'm running? And the fact is, no, it collects zero data. It just analyzes the flow.
Okay.
As it goes through to make sure malicious code is not, breaking into your hard drive. Okay, so that's what this was about.
Okay.
Was people going, wait a minute, you're watching everything I'm running? It's like, no, we're actually just filtering out everything that shouldn't be running.
Right.
Okay, and that's very different from, a camera is very different from a sieve, is what you're looking at basically. And so this is just a sieve, so it's not actually doing anything problematic. Yep.
Well, I knew that was a big thing for them. So.
Oh yeah, your Apple security is one of the big reasons I absolutely am glued to this thing and this thing and this thing. Is because I don't ever worry about bad apps. Because one bad app can spoil the whole bunch, girl. I just went Donny Osmond on you. Yeah, that was about 1973, in case you're wondering.
So we're going to talk about something kind of cool, real quick.
It's not from 1973.
That's not from 1973.
It's from 1980.
Right. So the astronauts that just launched brought up an extra crew member onto SpaceX Crew Dragon,
Yes.
shipped before it launched to orbit, a baby Yoda toy.
Right. Now, I have a couple issues with this.
Why?
Don't I have issues with everything? That's my job here. I'm Captain Issue.
Captain Issue!
Yes. My original title was Captain Obvious, and let me explain to you why they call me that. But that was a joke. So, no, whenever they send up the rocket, it has become a custom, kind of a tradition, that they bring along a toy.
Right.
And when the toy starts floating, that means they've hit 0G.
Got it.
My issue is this is Baby Yoda. He can float without it. He's got the Force. So how do they know that it's actually not him instead of the gravity thing?
Right.
See? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. I know that's
It
a
could
heavy
be baby, could be
heavy
Yoda.
subject. Okay, and
Hey,
it's
Rod, we're
wrong
gonna
of
have
us
to
to make
reboot,
light of it.
hold
You
on.
see all the gravity jokes I'm making?
Reboot the main machine real quick.
Did we die?
No, we're fine.
we're on. Okay.
Yeah, we're on. So, but I just thought that was cool that they brought the Baby Yoda.
I think it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, so to me, it's like,
Yeah.
And they even got,
However, another ship approached called the Razor Crest. And
Said,
he says,
"Give
I
it-
want the child back.
now,
This is the
I will bring you in
Yes.
warm or cold. Yeah, whatever. I never get the quotes
and
right.
I mean, honestly, at this point, the Razor Crest is not much of a threat to anybody if you've been watching the series. So,
Nope.
spoilers.
Yeah, it's pretty beat up.
Oh, the Mon Calamari are terrible repairmen, in case you're wondering.
So do you think do you think it'll do you think okay, just real quick, do you think he's gonna repair that completely or get a new ship?
I really don't care. Because, did you see the little meme I made? In which, I mean, it's okay, semi spoilers here. One of he meets 3 other Mandalorians and they flip off their helmets like, what? And so yeah, we find out the story behind that. But I'm looking at the leader and I'm like, hang on, that's Starbuck.
It's Starbuck.
It's Starbuck. So I called it Battle Star Wars Galactabuck. And with just a hint of snips. And if you are a real Star Wars fan, you will understand exactly what that means. Okay, there was a hint of snips in this last episode that was just awesome. Because that is one of my most hugest things I've been waiting for years. And to see something happen, I've read the book about snips. And so now they actually mention Snips by Snips's proper name.
There you go.
So there you have it. Okay.
We won't go any further on that right there. So Windows 10 update problem.
What?
I know, right?
What? Windows 10?
Could you ever figure that Windows would have a problem with Windows 10?
Did Windows would have a problem with Windows, asterisk, because that's the wild card.
Yeah. It says we're fixing the Kerberos authentication bug. That's what Microsoft says.
Yes, I'm sure they are.
I'm not so sure that makes me feel any better.
Should be running by 2024.
Yeah. When the new Windows 15 comes out.
Yeah, because they're just going to skip numbers. I think, I have to say, I think the best version of Windows that they ever released was Windows 9. It's the only one that nobody complained about was Windows 9.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody, not a single
I like
complaint
Windows 98
about Windows 9.
That's because I'm old.
Yeah, well, I was a big fan of XP myself.
XP was awesome, bro.
XP was like unbreakable, which is why Florida State's still running on it. But whatever. No, Windows 9 is the only version that didn't have more complaints than positive reviews.
Yeah, so they're trying to fix it. I guess it was just really messing up authentication stuff to kind of get in and out of program software updates.
Imagine.
Who needs updates, right? I mean,
it's amazing, and I know there's a lot of Windows guys out there, and God bless you. Okay, you do such valuable work because you're given so little to work with.
Yeah.
And
so
to keep it running and to keep people operating on it and to add in all the variables that you have to because it's not a closed system is just an enormous amount of work. And so I thank you for the hard work you do, keeping so many offices running, and I'm having trouble not using adjectives like malinformed offices.
Be nice.
I am
Be
trying.
nice.
I'm trying.
Be nice.
Trying. Yeah,
So I don't
Windows
know.
10, what do you know? But where would we be without Windows?
Using Macs.
The whole world would be running on Macs, and we probably have
That
world
work.
peace by now. So there you have it. All right, what's next, John?
All right. Well, okay. So normally I don't like to jump on the bandwagon of this is cool, but
this is cool.
Samsung has really they've stepped up their game when it comes to the monitors, right?
Yep.
Because I know the other day I looked at a 61-inch curved that was like $1,600.
Oh my God.
But how many of us would love to be able to run out and get a TV, right? To put our Laptops too.
Which is what I have at home.
But the problem with that is your text looks grainy.
Yep.
Because you're not, because you can go buy a 20K TV. I don't care what you buy. If your computer's not set up to run to that monitor, your text looks grainy. It looks pixelated. It's horrible.
Yep.
So Samsung said, "Hey, smart monitor is like a TV for your PC."
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, it's called the Smart Monitor M7, and it looks. That's $400.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I know.
32 inch?
27 inch.
No, $230.
Oh yeah, 32 inch. Yeah. No, 32 inch 4K M7's $400.
Okay.
The 32 inch there's a 32 inch. It's not 4K. It's 280. And if you want a 27 inch, it's 230.
Right. But if you want the 4K, which that's up to you.
Right.
I know that I've got mine hooked up to my Mac. Okay.
Right.
And my Mac does a really good job of outputting to it.
Mm-hmm.
The settings are completely different. If I drag a window from one to the other, it's crazy. But the fact is, though, I need to have both because the screen on my iMac is so beautiful, so perfect, that if I'm editing video or anything, you know, for a quick snippet for a website, and I only look at it on my Mac,
right,
I am completely misled because when I take that same video and I put it over onto the monitor, it looks more like what it does on other people's, you know, PCs and mobile devices, and it's like 20 shades darker. It's insane how much darker it is. There's no detail. It's blown out. I've got to go back and you know, just I do stuff with that. I just got to brighten everything. I got to brighten the photographs. I've got to brighten everything.
And you should not have to do
match.
that. You should not have to do that.
Yep.
So to me, it's worth $400.
Yep.
We're probably going to go to these in the studio to go because we do 3 monitors.
Yeah.
Plus our main monitors to switch out on. I don't know. I like it. I think it's something, and I'm not one of these kind of guys that go out and just buy something to buy something. It's got to be, technically, it's got to work for us.
Yeah.
And I think that would be and I don't like to just go, hey, go buy this because it's cool. But this one is not just cool, but it's actually really, really, really good for what you're doing, especially if you need large format.
Yeah.
I'd love to get up into the, you know, the 50s and 60s, but they just don't seem to run right.
Okay. What do you find by not right?
So with the video editing, we're fine detail.
Of course.
So the minute a piece of text gets blocked, or you know, like it pixelates, then I can't use it because I can't get fine edge detail.
Okay.
We have to have that smoothing. If I'm looking at a circle, I need a circle until I blow it so up. But if I have to get text in there, it's got to work right. That's all.
Yep.
That's all. Just got to work right. Hey, we're smooth again. How about that? That poor machine. That poor machine worked its butt off this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to jump over it now. There are other monitors out there in the world. Like if I really want to go get crazy, I could go to freaking Apple and get theirs.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not spending $3,000 for a 24 or 27 inch freaking monitor. It's not going to happen.
Nope.
You know, that is nuts. So let's jump over. So I know you're married. I'm married. Rob's not married, but you know, ever heard of Bumble?
Not until you posted that.
Yeah, Bumble is a place where people go get hookups.
Yeah.
You know? But the problem is with them good old hookups is that Bumble vulnerabilities put Facebook likes, locations, and pictures of 95 million daters at risk.
Yeah, this became a stalker's wet dream. Because what happened was, even if you were kicked off the site or whatever, you could still get in, and it still gave you access to enormous amounts of information on the back end of someone's Facebook profile. And even more than that, even the pictures that they posted to the website.
So bad.
This is, I mean, I can see a lot of people, you know, dumping the app. I suppose they fixed it now, okay? But at this point, we're going to find out if Bumble's bounce. You see what I did there? I just went Rudolph.
But they don't fall down?
Come on, it's the holiday season. I can go Rudolph,
so-
right? Bumbles,
It's like, I guess, is it
Yukon, Cornelius.
is it okay to go to Christmas now?
Yeah.
Really?
We can start referencing Christmas.
Can we?
Yeah. Yeah, we just can't
Because
sing
if we've
Christmas
got
carols.
time, I'm going to get to a story there that I love Engadget. I don't know if you go to that website a lot.
On occasion.
They have some really cool holiday gifts, which some are cool, some are not. It's okay.
Well, okay.
you know?
Yeah. Well,
it is what it is,
whatever.
type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be a little nervous that my crap's gotten out there from Bumble. Not that I'm on Bumble. I don't care.
Yeah. But I'm
if I
sorry.
was
I
a
thought the
single
conversation
guy-
was over when I made the Rudolph reference. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, it
yeah,
probably should have
so-
been. I just beat a dead horse.
No, I think,
I'm really good at that.
You still beat a dead reindeer. That got ugly real fast.
But I will beat a dead elf.
Okay, as long as his name is Will Ferrell, because I don't like Will Ferrell.
You don't
It's
like
just
Will
one of
Ferrell?
those things. Yeah, he's just never appealed to me as an
All
actor.
right, so have you ever
Okay.
wondered how much crap they shove into these? I mean, look, okay, come to my shot.
No, I just respect
Right.
it like a religious
This
icon.
right here, right? This little bitty, listen, this has got more computing power in it than the first launch at NASA.
Oh, much
Right,
more.
right here.
Much more.
This right here, right? Other than that lady, she was smart as hell.
Yeah.
So anyway, iFixit's iPhone 12 mini teardown looked at how Apple fits so much stuff in a tiny device. I am absolutely blown away with how much stuff there actually
Layers
is.
and layers.
Oh
and
my God.
layers,
So, like, look at
microthin
that.
particles.
That is just like, you're like, I love when you get good architecture because it literally looks, go back to that one shot there, Rob, go back up. That to me, I look at that overhead shot of that and I'm like, wow, that looks like a city.
It does. It
way
is
it's
a
laid
cityscape.
out.
You can see the buildings, the streets, the parking lot.
And there's Sam's
Yeah.
Club right there in the middle.
No. But it's definitely the Apple Store.
Apple Store.
Okay.
Boom. But that is absolutely amazing, the amount of tech that is in that little phone. Now, that's the mini. That's the 12 mini that they pulled apart.
Wow.
I mean, to me, that is like, I'm like,
That is insane. That
Right?
is just radical. And, for all that it does and all that it needs to do, think about the level of engineering involved in layering all these pieces together.
crazy, isn't
Okay,
it?
so that you can fit everything into the one little box.
Little bitty box. Little bitty box. This
And
big.
which is why, they have to really think carefully when they switched over from the old iPhone plug, remember the wide pins?
Yes.
Okay, down to the little lightning cable?
Yep.
Because they're like, we just don't have space inside these things anymore. Now it makes more sense when you can look at this.
Right.
And see this level of compactness and now think about heat transfer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so you got to keep parts cool in there so that this isn't messing with this and that then isn't overheating over there, and it's nuts how much they do.
Yeah, the architecture behind this is just, it blows my mind, to be honest with you. So to me, it's like, now, and I guess we're talking about phones, so you can say a laptop or a tablet's a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah,
So computers, I love how the fact they started getting smaller. Remember Mac went with the big tower, and then they went with the Mac Mini.
yeah.
And the Mac Mini, you're like, it's not gonna. I don't know about that. I don't think it could work hard enough. That little Mac Minis will just smoke some PCs.
Yeah.
They're just that good. So,
Yep.
But speaking of Mac,
What?
the morning after, right?
Yes.
Have you updated any of yours to Big Sur?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, because it's messing up some MacBook Pros.
I don't have a MacBook Pro, so
So it's turning it into goo, I guess. Not good.
ouch.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is where, unfortunately, we live in. Why is the shot on me? Get it off of me. I don't want to be on me. Put it over here.
It's bricking some of the older
Yeah,
ones.
it's just going to go.
Yeah.
And remember, we talked about that last week with Adam saying, hey,
You're gonna reach a
you're
point.
going to hit a point where you can no
Your
longer
hardware
upgrade.
can no longer support the
And
software.
so everybody if anybody went to Big Sur and it bricked, they got to go back.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to
Yeah.
go put it back onto the
Catalina.
other,
Yep.
or
whatever you were
what
using
is the last
before.
one? Is it
I think Catalina as well.
Catalina? Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that they have all these names for California locations.
Yeah, I don't think that's probably a coincidence.
That's not a coincidence.
No,
right?
not at all. I'm still, I'm a little worried. Okay, now, of course, Microsoft has tried to compete. They have one called, the Lower East Side.
Lower East Side. That's where they're getting all the viruses from. Anyway, we should not say that. We're sitting on. Well, you're sitting on. I'm sitting on a PC, so it seems to kind of work.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, you know what? You got your choice. You want to drive a Chevy? Drive a Chevy. Have a
That's
great
it.
day.
I like Chevys.
Yep, that's fine. You drive your Chevy. Have
I
a
like
nice
my
day.
Chevy.
Actually,
it's not
some
really
of it's
Chevy.
about brand loyalty, but I just happen to prefer a Bentley myself. So let's roll.
Yeah, but when that Bentley breaks down, can you afford to fix it? That's the whole point.
You don't fix it. You just get another one.
Oh, they're just throwaways.
Yeah, it's like when the
Got
ashtrays
it.
full.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Now I
who
get it.
remembers ashtrays? There's a piece of lost technology.
Ashtray. So before
Okay,
we jump to this next one, I want to ask you about. Okay, so you have this. I love how people are calling it the Exodus, right? Maybe Rob can go pull up. Everybody's leaving. There's an exodus from Facebook, and people are going to Parler.
Oh yeah.
So my question is, okay, so a lot of my friends are joining Parler. I jumped over on Parler, and we're also going to Rumble. We're going to start moving stuff to. We're going to run both together. See who makes us the most money. Whichever makes the most money is where we're going to go to.
Right.
But after a while of hearing the same. How am I trying to say this? Sometimes I want that other person to fire off on something I posted.
Yeah.
To give me a different perspective.
Right.
After a while, if you get the same perspective over and over again, it's going to be like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Because tell me, and be honest, you got it, and I would love to see this in the chat if someone will throw it up in there. I think sometimes we put stuff up because we want that.
We want to stoke a little
We want to stoke
controversy,
the fires.
have a little,
I know I do. I do it all the time.
Get some,
depending on which
get
one
some
of
energy flowing in the conversation.
Depending on what Facebook you follow.
Provocative headlines.
I will put stuff up that will make you go, what an ass. Pretty much everything I put up. Either.
I wasn't going to go there, but
it's
I was
okay.
thinking it.
But I
was
want
thinking
that.
it.
But I also put stuff up for people's thoughts. I don't put up. Sometimes I put
I
stuff
don't want
up and
everybody
people
to
go,
just
"You
agree."
think that way?"
Yeah.
No, I put that up. Did you not see what's your thought on this?
Yeah.
Or, huh?
Yeah.
That's my favorite one. Huh? And then I'll put it up there, and then people will just hammer away at it. Now I have thick skin. I don't care because I'm putting it up there just to see the comments, good and bad. Some people, but after a while, I mean, it's great that everybody's going to Parler, but after a while, if you're not going to get anybody to go, well, you can't think that way, or
And
that's a
here's
wrong
the
opinion,
thing.
or blah, blah, blah.
The problem that I found was Parler and its likes were not founded so that, you only had, right-wing speech. That wasn't the point behind it. The point behind it was that you could have uncensored speech. And you didn't have Big Brother looking over your shoulder, telling you what opinions were correct.
Okay, let's talk about,
But I've now seen where on the other side, okay, they are actively discouraging anyone with a conflicting opinion from going there. They're calling it things like mind space. Okay, instead of Mein Kampf, it's mind space. Okay, I mean, as opposed to fascist booked, which is where most people hang out. But the fact of the matter is, it has no stated political agenda. It is just free speech. And so, if you want free speech, you've got two choices. Well, actually, there's many. There's MeWe, there's Parler, there's Sage. Sage.
We should start our own because we can.
Because we can. We know how to do this. We have the technology. Okay. We don't have the server space, but yeah, we can do it.
We call it Geek Space.
Geek Space. But, we have, it's, if somehow, let me ask you a serious question. If promoting free speech is something you consider radical, well, I don't really have a question. Okay, I just have to look and wonder.
The thing of it is they're going to have to censor it in some ways.
Well, they do.
Because you don't want the
No.
And I'm not. And look, and if you think pedophilia is an okay thing in this society, you can just leave. And I don't care if you ever watch us again. So you don't want the pedophiles on there.
No.
You don't want the stalkers on there.
No.
And that's what I'm worried about.
And they protect those things.
Okay.
Okay, they do monitor for illegal behavior, unlike the Section 230. Okay, which only allows for objectionable behavior. And that's the problem with Section 230, is it's too vague. Because it's like, oh, well, I object to anything that might help my political opponent. Well, that's fine. No, what you find on Parler and Rumble is illegal behavior is what is not allowed.
Right.
So if there's laws against it, no, you can't do it, you can't encourage it. Okay, we can talk about breaking laws. Okay, and we saw. This was a number I heard quoted on CNN that Newsmax went from 50,000 views of their regular videos to 500,000 views in a week. In a week. Newsmax jumped.
Yep.
Okay, just skyrocketed, and Parler is the #1 downloaded app. Okay, in the App Store.
Yeah, it's been around for 2 years.
Yeah, it started in 18.
And last week it doubled or tripled in size.
Yeah. And now they've actually come out because, of course, there were people saying, oh, it's Russian collusion, it's owned by the Russians, it's all disinformation.
No, it's our biggest owner is Don Bondingo or...
No, actually, he's not. Bongino.
Bongino, that's it.
Dan Bongino.
He invested in it?
Recently.
Yeah.
He was not one of the founders, though.
No.
The founding billionaire finally came out, and it's Catherine Mercer.
Oh, my God,
Catherine Mercer, her dad was a hedge fund manager. She inherited billions, okay, and she put her money into free speech. That's what she did. That's what she's done. And that's what it is all about. So, if somebody's telling you not to look at a place that advocates free speech,
then you need to look.
You really need to. This needs to. All you Catholics out there, you know what I'm talking about. When the Vatican comes out and says, "Don't buy that book," you know damn well there's a run on it down at the bookstore, and all the Catholics are lined up right off the bat because they can go back on Saturday night or Sunday morning to get forgiven. It's okay, but you got to go get that book. Okay, and it's the same thing here. If you're being told that this is stuff you shouldn't hear, shouldn't read, shouldn't see, okay, especially when the news coverage is directly lying about what the information is they have.
Yep.
Okay, that
Okay, so you talk about. Okay, so I'm glad I got you on there because where I was going was talking about pollution.
Okay.
Pollution, right?
Right.
Space has become a junkyard.
Space, the final junkyard.
Now that's not a simulated. It's simulated, but that's simulated. Everything that we have around this Earth. How in God's green earth? I'm waiting for an asteroid now because it'll take half that crap out.
Well, and all it has to do is take out one tiny track, and the pinball effect will take
it'll
out
just
the rest.
start.
Because almost none of those satellites, have a navigation system.
Right.
Okay. We're actually working with a satellite company they're not a satellite company, they're a thruster company. And they're making attachable thrusters. So they can either add them to satellites before they go up now, or they can go ahead and add them to the small box sats that are already out there, the CubeSats, okay, that are already in orbit. And which is what most of those are. Most people don't realize that a vast number of those, we think satellite, we think something, the size of this table or this room that's flying around up there. No, this is the size of a lot of those satellites. They are little cubes, yay big, the size of a bread box. That's what many of them are.
Well, yeah, the
And-
Starlinks.
Yes, that's part of it. But even before that, okay, so many of these are what are called CubeSats.
Right.
And, those are the ones that are going to cause problems because they are the ones that have no ability to maneuver. They can't get out of something's way if it's headed towards them. And if they find themselves heading towards something all of a sudden because a meteor came through that cloud and dislodged and moved them out of their orbit, okay, all it has to do is run by them and the gravitational pull of it can knock them out of orbit.
Like so far, the ISS has had to move 3 times in 2020 to get out of the way of stuff that can't move.
It's maneuverable, so it's doing all the work.
Right.
What we're looking to do is actually change that pattern around and give all these CubeSats a wickedly energy efficient thruster system, okay, that can then be used to either, basically to deorbit them, because we would rather deorbit a little, $50,000 satellite than spend $300,000 either maneuvering or repairing the space station.
So
that's the plan.
So what are you guys just going to put one way out of the orbit of everything else, and then go in, put stuff on, and then?
Yeah, that's one possible option, is go in and just attach this on the side, okay, of these, and so you've got special missions to attach these. But as we're doing such high volume launches right now, with launching multiple satellites in one launch, okay, making sure they all have these super economic plasma thrusters.
Oh man, we're out of time.
30 seconds
And I didn't
left.
get to our holiday gift guide. Well, next week we'll have our holiday gift guide. Maybe, we never know.
Maybe, we might not remember. Next week is a long time from now.
It is for me. It's like a lifetime away. So, hey, if you've got any information that you want us to talk about, Tech Shamans at WeBeamTV.com. Make sure you go to Bonfire, support the station, buy a mug, buy a shirt, whatever.
Send money.
Send money.
Send cash.
I don't
Send
care.
pizza. Pizza's good.
Pizza's awesome. We have a new
Pizza's good.
place in here called Rooster for Thai and sushi.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Stop by the
Cannot say
studio.
enough
We'll
good
take
stuff.
you over, introduce
Yes.
you, everybody. That
Good
being
stuff.
said, everybody have a good
Bye,
tech
everybody.
week. We'll see
Have a
everybody
great
next
week.
week. Bye-bye.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.